My name is Darwin, and welcome to Happy Loner. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to be here with me at work, because I'm by myself, which is actually a good thing, but I'm having to hold it down for the entire hospital on the weekend. This is the first few minutes that I've had a break, and I brought my Sony ZV-E10 camera today, and it is a beautiful camera. I really like it. It was my first camera, and I have enjoyed it. I think the pictures are great. But as I was sitting here and thinking about my channel, and the title of my channel, the name of my channel is Happy Loner. My channel, I do love that name, and it really represents me. And I was thinking about how it represents me, not just because it's a cool name, but actually throughout my life, I've been a loner, lonely by myself. Don't have a lot of friends. I don't have many friends now. I think I have one. And I do have people that I can call, but I haven't spoken with them for many years, I guess. They're not friends that I keep in touch with. I guess I'm saying I don't have friends that I keep in touch with. And I guess it's by choice because I don't call them. But if they call, I'm going to pick up the phone and talk. And I always attempt to make a lunch, schedule something, but I always have something to do. I'm always working, or when I'm off, I really like to take the time to work on some of my things, some of my projects, and I just don't have much time outside of that. But anyway, as my channel suggests, I am a bit of a loner, a lone wolf. I am an introvert, I would say. I don't speak much. I'm pretty quiet. I don't go out and start conversations. You're not gonna hear me when I come in a room. I'm not loud. I'm very quiet. I keep to myself. And there's many reasons for that, but I was thinking of one of the main reasons that I think started me having not roll with a lesser group of people, because I always have one or two friends, but not a whole lot of friends. And I wasn't really part of the in crowd or the cool kids. And a lot of the times, I think, because I grew up in an area in the city of La Puente, it's out here in Southern California, which is a Latino area, with predominantly like 99% Latino. And there's only a few African Americans. And a little background on myself: I am Mexican. My family is from Mexico. My mother is born and raised in Guanajuato. I have still family there, and then a family here that lives in Los Angeles and throughout California. I think mostly in Los Angeles. And we're Spanish speaking. I grew up speaking Spanish was my first language. It took me, I went to school and had to have like special ESL, English as a second language. It took a little time for me to get acclimated, but I eventually did. And then growing up in my household was predominantly a Latino home. We celebrated most like Mexican families would. My father is African American, obviously. My family is from Texas. And then my African roots are from Ghana and Nigeria, predominantly Ghanaian. But growing up biracial wasn't easy for me, to say the least. It was a bit difficult for me to really fit in and to feel comfortable in my own skin. I grew up in a Latino kind of culture in the household, and there was a lot of things that we would watch as kids, like Chapulín Colorado was one of our favorite shows that we would watch, and it really connected with being Latino and being a Mexican. My mother spoke to me in Spanish predominantly. My family, my cousins, majority of my family from my mother's side don't speak English. Visit Mexico a lot. I still have a lot of family in Mexico. We're predominantly I'm first generation here in America, so we are new to this country as far as my mother's side. And just growing up, it was hard for me to find a lot of friends that would get that, understand that I was Latino and I spoke Spanish, and I felt like Latino culture is where I felt comfortable, but it didn't really, I guess it just was strange or different to see a darker Latino with curly hair and darker skin. And my father is African American. He looks black. He's black. He's dark. So they really wouldn't know what to make of me. What I was, like Puerto Rican, Cuban, Dominican, Puerto Rican, always one of the islands or whatever. I did predominantly find Latino friends, and it felt easier for me to find Latino friends because there wasn't as much judgment, or it was more nuanced. It was more like just the way that I felt. It wasn't announced, but you would feel a little bit treated a little bit different throughout my entire life. So if I was with Latino families and their relatives or cousins, I get invited for something, you could just feel it's just, you don't fit in completely. You always feel just like you're an outsider. I've never felt like I was part of the crowd. I was always looking in, wondering what it is to feel like you're totally connected with the culture. And then on my father's side, my African-American side, a lot of my family is from Los Angeles, in that area. They're in Texas. And I really felt more alienated in that part than I did with my Latino part. A lot of my family when I was growing up didn't really remember my names. Like every time I'd come by, they'd just forget my name for some reason. And it was strange. I have an older sister. We'd go everywhere together. And she was the one that they would pay more attention to. And she's more talkative. She's really friendly and she talks a lot. So I think they really gravitated to her a lot. But for me, I was left on the side. I really stuck to myself. And this is me just as a kid. And that was the Latino side. And the Black side, it was even worse. I felt like I was totally like an alien. Like I felt like an alien. I didn't feel like anybody even wanted to bother with me, to be honest with you. It felt really difficult. It felt, I don't know, a lot forced. I was there. My dad would go, and we'd go to my family's house, my aunt's house, my cousin's house in the hood in Los Angeles, wherever they were living at the time. And I just, again, they would really not know my name, or they'd call me, my name's Darwin. They'd call me like Derwin or something strange that wasn't my name, or wouldn't even really remember it. So it was really difficult. That's just me in my home, in my family. When I got outside, it was like the same thing, but it was, like I said, more nuanced. You would feel it and you just have to live with it. And that's a lot of the reasons that I really spent a lot of time by myself and having a limited amount of friends and how I would interact. And as I grew up, I learned to not to expect anybody wanting me to be a friend of theirs. I'd stick to myself. And then as people become interested, I would become friendly with them. And if they were interested in me, then I would start a friendship. And that's how I had my friends. A lot of my friends were like, people were like Colombia or Panamania or some mix. They're either white Mexican or they've had the same kind of experience because of whatever it was. They weren't just one culture or from the area or full Mexican. They were an island or whatever it was. They just didn't feel they were like outsiders like me. So those were my type of friends. My friends were mostly outsiders that didn't fit in the main group. So it was really difficult for me. And I really wanted to be part of a group, either group. To be honest with you, I tried everything. I'd read all the books. I'd read everything about our African-American heroes or our ancestors. And when I say heroes, like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Langston Hughes and a lot. I would read books on about Black culture, and I was versed in it at a young age and would present myself like that, but that didn't come off well. I just felt like everything was forced, and same thing, same feeling. It was just a different magnitude. But the point is I really never felt accepted in any group, so I developed a lone wolf mind state where I just have to really find my own group. And a lot of times I didn't find a group, and I didn't, and I just had to just roll with myself and just go with it and just wouldn't try to alienate myself. But yeah, it was really difficult growing up. I had to endure a lot of lonely days and nights, and it was even harder finding girlfriends and relationships. That was difficult, very difficult. Probably the most difficult part of it is having relationships with girlfriends in high school. And maybe I was blessed that I didn't, because I didn't have any kids or something, but I didn't have that many opportunities to be with many girls in high school, just because it was mostly Latina women and they weren't feeling the brother. As I got older, I started playing sports and got better at sports. That maybe I hadn't, but and even throughout my life, it's been a hit and miss, man. To be completely honest with you, I still don't fit in either group, as I would say, but I'm at that point in my life where I don't need to be part of a group. I feel comfortable now in my skin and I love myself completely and I accept both parts of my culture and I love both of them equally. But I understand that people are not going to show me regardless of what I know or what I do. I don't think about it anymore. It doesn't really bother me. If somebody doesn't accept me, that's fine. But I'm usually not wanting to be accepted. I don't need anybody's approval for that. It doesn't, regardless of race, gender, color, creed, or hierarchy in the job or whatever. I don't need anybody's acceptance. I don't need that. I don't need to be part of a group. I feel really comfortable in my skin, and I love how I was raised in the culture and the understanding that I have. I think it's helped me develop a more compassionate self that is open to understanding and being more empathetic to different cultures and different people, regardless of the color of their skin or whomever they desire to love. So there's been a lot of things that I had to go through that has helped shape my compassion and my empathy for those that are left out. So I do look at it as something that I went through that was difficult, but I've really learned a lot from it. But that wasn't the only thing. My father was quite the ladies' man. And like I said, I did have an older sister and unfortunately she passed away about 4 years ago. And she was only about 4 years older than me. So it was really difficult for me in my life having to live without her. She was my only biological full sister. I guess I said that correctly. Like I said, my father was a ladies' man and he had about 11 kids in total. And about 6 of them were boys and then 2 of them were girls. My sister I grew up with, who spoke Spanish, but she was the shining star of my family. With my half brothers and sister, I too didn't get close with them because of the relationship my dad had with their mother. So I really didn't feel connected with them. And that also helped with the loneliness of feeling of not being accepted, connected, or being seen, because my brothers, who were much older than me, I'd say about 15 years older than me, they never took the time out to want to get to know me. And this was still to this day. I really don't know them that well, even though I do know them. If I see them at an event, we act as if we're brothers. And I don't want to make things difficult. I really am not a person that tries to make things difficult, but I just go with the flow. I'm just like, hey, what's up? And do my general greetings and everything and ask general questions. But as far as being connected with them, it was never anything like that. All that being said, that is the reason my channel is called Happy Loner. And I've been a loner for a long time, and I'm really grateful that I have this platform and this space that I can come on here and share my experiences with you. My name is Jarwin. This is my channel, Happy Loner. Peace.